Hello, and welcome back to the third episode of The Search for Clutch Powers. Here's a quick recap of the last episode. Car race, Battle of the Bands, epic skyfight, Temple, Scotland, random Scottish dude, random Irish guy, Ireland, and federal prison. Hope that helps you remember. Now on to the episode.
We arrived at the prison in a sketchy-ass shuttle. The prison was shaped like an upside-down suspended basket, with a few gold coins under it. It was set up in a way so that if you took the gold coins, the basket would fall and trap you.
We entered the security line and began to wait. We waited for just long enough to talk about this episode's sponsor, Juice. Do you like fruit but wish it could be shoved down your throat without choking? If so, then you should try Juice. Juice comes in a variety of flavors, including pear, apple pear, banana pear, peach pear, watermelon pear, blueberry pear, blackberry pear, orange pear, raspberry pear, strawberry pear, and grape. If you couldn't tell, we really love pear.
Once we were done telling people about today's sponsor, Juice, we exited the security line and entered the prison. As soon as we sat down, we noticed that something was off. There was no clutch powers. There wasn't even a cloth pom-poms.
Suddenly, metal walls rose around us, trapping us in a cell, and Jahan walked forward.
What the f***, Jahan? F*** you little f***ing piece of shit, goddamn motherfucker.
Do you really think I want you to find Clutch Powers? Clutch Powers is our national treasure and doesn't need to be bothered by the likes of you two measly podcast reporters. Not to mention that he has been missing for the last 3 years, so you will never find him.
Let us out!
Don't worry, you'll be let out on Friday in order to attend your execution.
As Jahan walked away, we felt hopeless. Until we noticed our cellmate. He seemed like a brand new character.
What is your name, brand new character cellmate?
My name is Gene, and I am here for being an escape expert.
You are exactly what we need right now.
Hand me a wad of gum, a screwdriver, a jar of medium-sized pickles, one below-average-sized hummingbird, and 600 trillion futons.
We handed him everything he asked for, and he proceeded to mess around with the materials for a few minutes before showing us what he had made.
I have created a Type X prototype fusion fission airdrop remastered dubstep remix big boom boom bomb. You might want to stand back.
And stand back we did as the big boom boom bomb exploded in what can only be described as a big boom boom. We ran out of our cell, but then we approached a reinforced exterior wall.
I am going to need 37.5 sheets of parchment paper, a Barbie doll, morality, purpose, a new start, and 5 herrings.
We handed him over everything he asked for, and once again, he began to craft an object.
I have constructed an ion waterproof extreme overclock lo-fi Wi-Fi 5G Bluetooth beat drop now in a variety of colors large explodey bomb. You might really want to stand back.
Stand back we did as the explodey bomb exploded in a manner that can only be described as explodey. However, Gene never got a chance to step back, so he exploded. We were now both covered in Gene bits.
Poor Gene. Maybe we can dedicate a part of our search to him. Anyways, when we walked out of the Irish prison, we found ourselves in Sweden. We were surrounded on all sides by IKEAs, but then I remembered something. The Search for Clutch Powers podcast was partially funded by Johnny Krumstigerstigerstigi, the CEO of IKEA and the governor of Sweden. We had to talk to him.
We tried the front door of the nearest IKEA, but it was locked, so we tried the back door. It was also locked. We tried the side door. It was also locked. We tried the top door. It was also locked. We were getting tired of this, so we smashed through the window.
We were now in IKEA. It was a pure white void of 97% nothingness and 3% mediocre quality lawn chairs. We walked forward and saw the Chuck E. Cheese mascot standing in front of us.
Hello friends, it is me, Chuck the Rodent Thing.
Chuck, we have to ask you a question.
Ask away friends, but if you ask the wrong question, I'll have to murder you.
Cool. Do you know where we can find Johnny Krumskiskrumskisumskizard, CEO of IKEA?
Well, sure friends, he's in the IKEA right next to us.
Thanks, Chuck. Also, one more question. Why is the sky blue?
Ha 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 ha. That was wrong question, friend.
Then Chuck started throwing chainsaws at us.
Choke, choke, chokey-dee chokey choke choke.
Quick, take cover!
We dove behind a conveniently placed upturned table which blocked the onslaught of chainsaws.
What are we gonna do? Chuck has gone mad with blind rage.
I've got an idea. Toss me that banana.
There was a banana lying on the ground next to me. I didn't even notice it. It probably appeared for the sake of the plot. But anyways, I tossed it to John, and he put the banana in a thermal combustion hardening chamber. He turned the hardening temperature to 10 billion degrees and pushed the start button. After the banana was done hardening, he took it out and jumped out into the range of Chuck's attacks.
Friend, there is no escape. You'll die before you can say who wants a pizza.
With my ridiculously hard banana, I started to deflect Chuck's chainsaws, which were still flying through the air.
Wow, I guess you could say that Chuck is really chucking those chainsaws.
Has anyone told you that you're just the funniest?
I know, right? I mean, it shouldn't be possible how funny I am.
Let's get you playing at the Apollo because you are quite the I was hit by a chainsaw.
John was hit by a chainsaw.
Don't worry, I walked around the track twice and then I was fine. Whew! I was now just a few feet away from Chuck, but I couldn't move any closer. There were just too many chainsaws.
Well, friend, looks like we are at an impasse. Or should I say, impasta.
After Chuck threw a cardboard bag of linguine at me, I looked at him and said, "Not quite."
Then John peeled his ridiculously hard banana, and it turned into a not quite as hard and almost soft hard banana.
My one weakness. Not quite as hard and almost soft hard banana.
My not quite as hard and almost soft hard banana was too beautiful to be seen in the visible light spectrum, and Chuck's chainsaws weren't smart enough to understand it.
Chuck lost control of his chainsaws, and they chopped off his head. Fortunately for him, Chuck's mascot costume's head was taller than his actual head, and he was alright, other than that one section of his brain that was cut clean off.
Chuck took off his costume, and we both saw who he truly was.
It was Johnny Crumpstigidgru, the guy we teased earlier in the episode.
But Johnny Grumpy Man, why would you throw chainsaws at us dressed like a rat named Chuck that is commonly associated with an American fast food / entertainment / arcade restaurant?
What can I say? I like role play.
That's no excuse, Johnny Crumpstigidgru.
I know. I really need to work on how I greet people.
Anyways, Johnny Kurzgesag, we know you partially funded the Search for Clutch Powers podcast. We wanted to ask you why.
Well, when I was young, I really liked tacos, but now I don't like them anymore. I mean, beans are like 5 out of 10, meat is like 3 out of 10 because I like cows, and taco shells be like 9 out of 10 minimum. Also, I just felt like funding stuff, seeing as I am exceedingly rich. You can tell by the monocle I am wearing.
But you don't have any information you could tell us about Clutch Powers?
I'm afraid not, but I know someone who does.
Who?
My good friend from college, the Pickle King, lives in Egypt, home of the pickle. His house is a legendary pickle factory shaped like a sphinx. A pickle sphinx! He is the biggest factory in the world! He knows more about Clutch Powers than I ever will! He is your best bet at getting info!
Thank you, Johnny Crumpstigidgru.
No problemo! Happy to help!
That's great, but how do we get out of this IKEA now?
You can use the poop slingshot, of course! Usually we use it to launch poop at other furniture stores, but I can make an exception for you!
Thanks again, Johnny Crumpstigidgru. See you later.
Also, thanks again, and also, see you later.
Goodbye and good luck!
As we loaded ourselves into the poop slingshot, we looked back at the IKEA one final time, and Johnny Crumpstigidgru waved to us as we were just about to take off.
Farewell, Johnny Crumpy Grandpa. You will not be forgotten, even though you're not dead, and we got your number so we can contact you at any time, but still, an overly dramatic farewell to you.
And as we flew into the sunset, leftover slingshot poop trailing behind us, we remembered the good times we had and thought of all the good times yet to come.
Well, that would have been a great ending to the episode, but we still have a bunch of time left, so we're going to keep going. Also, we should really be getting paid more for this. Being this deep and creative is harder work than manual labor.
We were flying through the sky, and we were now about halfway to Egypt, still hurling through the air. As we were flying, we accidentally entered French airspace.
Oh no, France! I'm Francophobic!
Then suddenly, French fighter jets rose up around us. They fired missiles at us. The missiles all missed us. They fired more missiles at us. Those missed too.
They're really bad at aiming, aren't they?
It's okay. I bet they just got out of missile aiming school last week.
Then I guess I can forgive them. However, some say that the ultimate forgiveness is death. I threw 16 miscellaneous marsupials at each ship, and in the sick Marsplosion, all of the ships exploded.
I swear, to this day, that one of the downed pilots screamed,
John, I am your father.
as he fell towards the ground.
Sick. Anyways, I opened a link between hyperspace, and now we were in Egypt. The first thing we saw was a sphinx, but not just any sphinx. This sphinx was green and had an aroma that could only be described as sensual brine.
It was, of course, the legendary Pickle Sphinx.
We entered the front gate and instantly saw 200 little pickle men building the perfect pickles while singing jaunty tunes.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. We are the pickle men, making the best pickles we can. We are the pickle men, putting those pickles in the cameras.
However, little pickle men singing jaunty tunes is not what we came here for. Rather, we came here for the one, the only, the singular, the uno, Pickle King. He approached us.
Boy, what business have you being in my pickle sphinx? And other boy, same question.
I had to make a convincing lie. Pickles?
Boy, that is the correct answer. Also, I think you are my boy.
Sick. So, how do you make all these pickles?
Boy, I searched the globe for 50 years searching out cage-free, paleo, open-source little pickle men to help me make my pickles. That is the key to my success.
That sounds easy.
Boy, you think you might be the pickle maestro, but you are really nothing but the lowly Kalamata.
Sorry, jeez.
Next question. Tell us everything you know about Clutch Powers. Please?
Or, according to some, he now goes by Cluth Pom-Poms.
Boy, you could be more wrong. Cluth Pom-Poms was Clutch Powers' twin. Allegedly, Clutch ate Cluth in the womb, but I believe otherwise. Even as a baby boy, Clutch Powers was just too good of a baby to eat another baby. You can talk to my friend Johan Johannesburg in Silicon Valley. He knows about Cluth Pom-Poms.
Thank you, Pickle King.
Don't mention it. Godspeed, boy. Another boy.
Now we knew Clutch Powers had a twin named Cluth Pom-Poms, and we now knew who knew about knowing now of him. All we had to do to know him was to get to Silicon Valley, but now how to know how to get to him? We were now knowing we knew we were all the way in Egypt now.
I knew a guy who could get you from one place to another. A guy who didn't ask any questions. A guy we could trust. My mom. Hey, Mom, can you come pick us up? Yeah, we're in Egypt. Okay, see you in a second.
Then, suddenly, a deep hot pink military attack helicopter descended from the sky, and John's mom stepped out of the door.
Hello, John, my sweet little baby boy prince. How are you doing?
Before we continue, just an editorial note. For all of our male viewers listening out there, we apologize for the inclusion of a female. We understand that you went into this podcast under the assumption that it would be 100% female-free, but we aren't creative enough to pull that off. For your masculine listening pleasure, we have given the female character a male voice. For all of our female viewers, we apologize for giving the female character a male voice. We do not know any females who would be willing to do this podcast with us, or any females in general.
Okay, enough of all this female nonsense. Back to the mildly sexist podcast.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm good, Mom. We need to get to Silicon Valley.
Oh, my little delicious snickerdoodle. I will do that for you immediately. Also, hello, John's friend. I don't believe we have met. My name is Jan.
I said hello to Jan, John's mom. Then the deep hot pink military attack helicopter exploded, and a flying magic carpet, which looked more like a moldy shag carpet now that I think about it, descended from the skies.
Couldn't we have just used a helicopter?
But then we would lack that pizzazz. Also, John, I think I am your father.
Sick.
So me, John, and John's mom took off heading for Silicon Valley on the magic flying moldy shag carpet thing. And as we flew off into the sunset, we remembered all the good times we had and thought of all the good times yet to come. Then John's mom casually died after she was launched into the sun at 5,000 times the speed of light. Must have been the wind, am I right?
Well, that also would have been a great ending to the episode, but we still had some time, so we're going to keep going.
Now that we were in Silicon Valley, we had to find Johannesburg. We were just about to start looking when John noticed a billboard. Here is how that exchange went.
I notice a billboard!
A real one?
Yes!
In the flesh?
Yes!
For real?
As always.
You're not joshing me, are you?
Absolutely not.
Are you sure it isn't one of those fake billboards?
I'm about 83% sure, which is a pretty sure chance of being mostly sure.
No way.
Yes way.
And this billboard is right there?
Of course.
After we established that the billboard was in fact real, and was in fact right there, I read it. It said, looking for a Johannesburg? Call 555-123-PP-poo-poo today. So we called the number and it gave us an address. 7893, not a real street, don't look for it on Google Maps road. So we headed for the address it gave us. And when we got there, we saw it was a large office building. We walked inside and saw Johannesburg, but he was tied up on a medium-grade white lawn chair. We ran over to him, but our path was blocked by one of those red velvet rope barrier things with the metal leg stands you see at museums and stuff. So we couldn't possibly get past. Then, all of a sudden, Mark Zuckerberg stepped out from behind the medium-grade white lawn chair. He was blocking our way.
Greetings, Jon and Chester. I have captured Johannesburg.
Mark Zuckerberg, I knew you were evil.
That is an accurate assessment. If you defeat me in a fight to the death, I will release Johannesburg.
Why?
Because it is entertaining for the listeners.
Makes sense. Alright, let's fight.
Then, probably the most epic robot fight to ever take place ensued. First, Mark Zuckerberg transformed his hands into machine guns and started firing. We pulled out our own machine guns and started deflecting his bullets with our own bullets. There were way too many bullets and the ceiling was stressed out, so it collapsed. We barely dodged the falling rubble. After that, Mark Zuckerberg transformed his legs into laser, phaser, gazer, brazer, jazer springs and launched up into the sky. We took out our jetpacks and followed him. Then, suddenly Mark Zuckerberg took out his own jetpack and zipped behind us. We couldn't keep up with him, but we had to try, so I jumped off of John and rocketed into Mark Zuckerberg, drilling a 3-foot hole straight through his chest. Right when I thought I had scored a hit, Mark Zuckerberg transformed into the Gigazuck. He was at least 12 trillion times more powerful now. He shot unseasoned mashed potatoes at John with his miscellaneous foods launcher, and since John is allergic to unseasoned mashed potatoes, he was down for at least 1 minute and 7 seconds.
I was in fact down for at least 1 minute and 7 seconds, but because we like to switch narration every so often, I'll take over for now. Right after Mark Zuckerberg launched the unseasoned mashed potatoes at me, Chester took it as an opportunity to strike and quickly constructed a semi-large robotic arm to flick him with. Chester flicked Mark Zuckerberg with a semi-large robotic arm, and Mark Zuckerberg was sent spiraling out of control. He crashed into the Eiffel Tower, but he wasn't down for long because just then, Mark Zuckerberg transformed into the Mega Ultra Giga Super Supreme Zuck and Zuck. He was now at least 54 Zuckillion times stronger. All hope seemed lost, but it had now been 1 minute and 7 seconds, so I woke up from my unseasoned mashed potatoes coma.
John was finally awake, and just as Mark Zuckerberg was coming back for one final strike to end us both, we combined ourselves into one ultimate being. Chon. As Chon, we might be able to stand a chance against Mark Zuckerberg, so we aimed for his arms. But as we struck Mark Zuckerberg's arms, he transformed them into legs, and we were so flabbergasted by this instance, we accidentally struck our own arms and transformed back into Jon and Chester. It was over. We were defeated. Mark Zuckerberg transformed his left middle toe into the ultimate weapon to stop us once and for all, when all of a sudden, his toe batteries ran out.
Damn. I think my toe batteries ran out, bro.
Yes, you do appear to be showing all the symptoms of empty toe batteries.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Well, I guess that's kind of like dying. So I guess we're all free. Johannesburg now, bro.
Cool, see you then.
Later, bro.
So we got Johannesburg free, and Mark Zuckerberg stayed in his office building to recharge his tow batteries.
Little did we know that as we were leaving with Johannesburg, Mark Zuckerberg was about to meet someone that would change the course of his life forever.
Greetings, Mark Zuckerberg.
Who are you, bro?
My name is Cool McRaddington, and I have a business proposition for you.
I do love business propositions, bro.
Yes, I am aware. Do you know those two people walking away right now? Jon and Chester. They are completely oblivious to the intense plot happening right behind them.
Yes, I do, bro.
My business proposition is that I will give you an undefined amount of money equal to that of how much is considered a lot at the time people are listening to this, and in turn, you will join me in the search to destroy Clutch Powers.
Okay, sounds good, bro.
Frog in my throat.
Man, it really sounds like there's some intense plot going on behind us right now.
Yeah, kinda. It's probably nothing, though.
You're right. Anyways, as me, Jon, and Johannesburg walked away, very much unaware of the intense plot happening right behind us, we walked into the sunset, remembering all the good times we had, and thinking of all the good times yet to come.
Well, that would have been a great ending to the episode. And coincidentally, it is, because this is the end of episode 3.
But what information can we acquire from Johannesburg? Can he tell us everything about Clutch Pom-Poms? Can we ever turn our heads 180 degrees to notice the intense plot happening right behind us? Find out in the next episode of The Search for Clutch Powers.